Russia's supply chain to Moscow just got shredded, and it wasn't by missiles or bombs. It was 187 Ukrainian drones, a swarm, coordinated, precise, devastating, and the target, one of Russia's most important railway supply lines, worth an estimated $17 billion, gone. This strike wasn't just about blowing up tracks. It was about cutting off lifelines, fuel, weapons, equipment, reinforcements, all flowing directly toward Moscow and the front lines. Imagine slicing a vein in a system that's already bleeding from sanctions, isolation, and months of grinding warfare. Let's unpack what really happened here and why this could be one of the most significant drone operations we've seen in this war so far. The railway line that was hit wasn't just any rail route. It was a critical artery, a key supply chain linking Russia's industrial base to its military logistics. Trains running along this route moved everything from missile systems to food supplies, heavy armor to construction materials for fortifications. Hitting this route doesn't just cause a delay, it breaks the rhythm of the entire Russian war machine. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The attack involved 187 drones. That's not just a strike, that's an onslaught. And the scale here is staggering. This was likely a multi-phase, multi-directional assault involving different types of drones, surveillance, jammers, decoys, and kamikaze units, each playing a role, each time to perfection. First, some of these drones likely targeted communication hubs and rail switches, the brain and nerves of the rail system. Others hit fuel depots and cargo holding yards. Bridges and junctions were probably targeted to prevent emergency rerouting. The entire operation was designed not just to destroy, but to disrupt, to leave Russia scrambling for days, maybe weeks. Satellite images and open source footage show charred train cars, collapsed bridges, and craters in rail yards. Fires burned for hours, and the explosions were so powerful that some nearby villages reported shockwaves rattling windows kilometers away. This was loud, it was visible, and it was strategic. So how did Ukraine pull this off? The short answer: evolving drone warfare. Ukraine's drone program is no longer just a handful of modified consumer drones flying into Russian territory. It's now a full-blown, integrated tech-savvy arm of the military. We're talking AI-assisted targeting, long-range communication systems, and decentralized control. Ukraine is using drones the way smartphones use apps: fast, cheap, and incredibly effective. And what's even more remarkable is how much they're getting done with so little. Think about it: a few hundred drones, costing maybe a few $1 million total, just wiped out over $1 billion worth of critical infrastructure. That's the economics of modern warfare, and it's not in Russia's favor. This strike is a major escalation in how Ukraine is choosing its targets. Early in the war, drones were used mostly for tactical gains, hitting convoys, ammo dumps, or command posts. But this was a strategic-level attack. It didn't just aim for a quick win on the battlefield. It aimed to kneecap Russia's long-term ability to sustain the fight. And it's not just about the physical damage. Think about the message this sends. If Ukraine can reach deep into Russian territory and wipe out infrastructure this vital, what else can they hit? Oil refineries, airbases, Moscow itself. This changes the psychological game. Russia now has to spend more resources protecting things inside its own borders. More troops guarding supply lines, more radar systems watching the skies, more money spent on defense and less on offense. It also raises serious questions for global military strategists. If drones can take out billion-dollar assets with coordinated attacks, how do you defend against them? Traditional air defenses weren't built for swarms. A single drone, sure, but hundreds coming in from multiple angles. That's a nightmare scenario for any military. And let's not forget, this is happening in real time. Every week, Ukraine is testing, tweaking, improving. What we saw in this railway attack might just be version 2.0. What does version 3.0 look like? We also have to talk about the human side of this. These supply lines weren't just moving weapons. They were delivering essentials to soldiers who have been on the front for months. Food, fuel, medical gear, morale. That lifeline is now broken, and that's going to ripple across the battlefield. Delays, shortages, confusion. It hits morale hard on both sides. This war has never been just about who has more tanks or more troops. It's about innovation, speed, and strategy. And Ukraine is proving again and again that it can think and outmaneuver a much larger opponent. Now, the big question, what happens next? Russia will absolutely retaliate. The only question is how. More missile strikes, more drone attacks of their own. Escalation seems likely. But here's the thing, every strike like this forces Russia to play catch-up, to react, and reacting costs time and resources. Ukraine, on the other hand, is staying agile. They're forcing Russia to defend places it never thought would be targets. They're rewriting the rules of engagement and doing it one drone strike at a time. And while the military side of this is fascinating, it's also sobering. Every explosion, every rail line destroyed means more risk for civilians, more tension, more uncertainty. So while we can analyze the strategy, we also need to remember the real cost on the ground. This strike, 187 drones, $1. 17 billion supply route destroyed is more than a headline. It's a signpost, a warning, a shift in the tempo of this war. And if this is what Ukraine can do now, what will we be seeing 3 months from now? That's why this moment matters. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take on this massive drone strike? Is this a turning point, or just the beginning of a much larger escalation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you found this breakdown helpful, insightful, or just eye-opening, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you stay ahead of what's happening next. This war is evolving fast, and we're going to keep breaking it down for you in real time. Share this video if you think more people need to understand what modern warfare really looks like, because it's not what we used to think. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.